tokenized financial system may be on the horizon with the potential to change markets. Today, the largest financial market in the world is the foreign exchange market, trading $7.5 trillion a day. How might we trade and settle FX in a tokenized world? Project Mariana ventures a look.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that was the Bank of International Settlements intro video for Project Mariana. It was launched this year. Did you catch it? The foreign exchange market is a $7.5 trillion a day settled market. Now, listen carefully because I don't think anybody has covered this. It's from just about 60 days ago.
I want to bring in, we have a responder actually online as well, Joe Villano, who's Director of Business Development, CBDC at Ripple.
Yeah, hi, Katie Ann. And just for housekeeping, my camera doesn't seem to be working, so I'm happy to just do the voiceover. Not intending to be rude though by keeping it off. If somebody wants to enable it, please do. So first of all, on Project Mariana, that's a fascinating body of work, and it's something Ripple in parallel is exploring. How we can facilitate cross-border, cross-currency transactions using an automated market maker. And one of the things I think Claudine commented on earlier was the idea of pools of liquidity. And I think that's one of the often overlooked elements of this, is having that liquidity in place is really critical to making sure those models function.
Did you catch that? Using an automated market maker. That's the AMM, with pools of liquidity. So no doubt, in my opinion, this is why the AMM and you'll also see the bridges when we take a look a bit more at that BIS Project Mariana video, is so important to Ripple. Seemingly more important than smart contracts added to the mainnet. That's what one might assume since they passed on hooks. Let's listen to the remainder of this very short clip.
It explores how wholesale central bank digital currencies, together with concepts borrowed from emerging decentralized finance, may improve effectiveness, safety, and transparency of FX trading and settlement. Mariana is a joint project between the BIS Innovation Hub, the Bank of France, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the Swiss National Bank. How does it work? An international blockchain-based network is at the heart of the experiment. It serves as an interbank foreign exchange market for hypothetical euro, Singapore dollar, and Swiss franc wholesale CBDCs. So-called automated market makers, decentralized exchanges popular in today's DeFi markets, enable FX trading and settlement for financial institutions. Wholesale CBDCs originate from the domestic platforms. They can be transferred between the domestic platforms and the international network using bridges. A uniform technical standard for the wholesale CBDCs on the international network enables interoperability and central bank governance. Project Mariana pioneers the use of novel technology such as AMMs for interbank FX markets, pushing the boundaries of central bank innovation.
So bringing a solution to settle the foreign exchange markets on the public ledger with the AMM and liquidity pools, along with the bridge amendment that is also outstanding, would be more than a home run. That would be a moon run. Now, let's jump for a moment to PALAU. This is where they did use the public XRP ledger. And in this central banking media from the 11th of December, PALAU is going to launch a national stablecoin after their successful Ripple pilot. To understand PALAU a little bit better, let's listen again to Joe Villano as he explains what I think are some fascinating facts about this island nation. Have a listen.
And now let's move to Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Zhao Chen, and to the organizers of the DC3 conference and fellow panelists. Thanks for the opportunity to join you today on this important topic. Just for background, my name is Joe Villano, and I lead business development for our central banking engagements team at Ripple. So I spend most of my days talking to central banks and commercial banks about CBDCs and stablecoins and ways that they can leverage technology to enable innovation. So I'm hoping to share a little bit of the market perspective in my remarks today. A lot of our work is, as I'm sure you'd appreciate, is confidential, but some of the projects we're doing are in the public realm, one of which is particularly applicable to today's topic, and that is our work in Palau. Palau, as you may know, is an island nation in the Pacific. And like every island, virtually, they have challenges with payments, geographic challenges. So to overcome some of these frictions, Palau is issuing a national stablecoin on the public XRP ledger. Some interesting things about Palau to know. First of all, they don't have a central bank. So they're not issuing a CBDC, as it were. They're issuing a dollar-denominated government-backed stablecoin. The next thing to know is they don't have any domestic banks in Palau. They have two banks, which are non-domestic, Bank of Guam and Bank of Hawaii. And it's not exactly a profit center for those banks to be there. So a big portion of the citizens in the island are underbanked. I think it's also worth mentioning that in Palau, the government is the primary employer. And you might think of any municipality in the US, a county where there's a major corporation or a military base that generates the majority of the economic activity in that particular market. And that parallel holds true in Palau with the government. And then finally, and interestingly, there's a lot of lending among and between families and friends on Palau, short-term lending. And that exists because there aren't credit cards on Palau. So it's very difficult to access short-term liquidity. It's not profitable or viable for a bank to issue a loan for $50 with a 2-week maturity. So citizens rely on each other. Your credit is only good in that environment, as good as your reputation. And so understanding all of these things, we spent time with the government to put together a pilot program. And the first phase of the pilot is processing payroll for government employees. The idea here is to showcase the benefits of the technology in a meaningful and tangible way and demonstrate a use case that has real world benefits. Looking to the future, we envision launching things like micro-lending protocols that facilitate peer-to-peer lending. Now, that's not something that can currently be done in Palau, but using this technology, it can be done fast, cheap, securely, and it will be beneficial, cost-effective for the provider, and financially beneficial for the citizens of Palau. So imagine a scenario where, for example, the Bank of Guam decides to structure a liquidity pool, which enables it to provision new services, generate revenue to the citizens on the island, and equally, maybe scale down their brick and mortar footprint as a cost savings. On the other hand, the citizens of Palau can access the liquidity pool to create credit, access short-term liquidity, and use future government payrolls as collateral for any loans they obtain. And they can also pledge money into the liquidity pool to earn interest. So these are things they can't currently do. When I think about using technology and stablecoins to enable financial inclusion, this is exactly the kind of use case that I think Ripple is focused on. And it's the kind of thing we're seeing opportunities like this all around the world. My one takeaway from engagements like this, and it holds true everywhere we go, is that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to addressing these problems. Yes, there are common themes, but all the challenges are unique, and you really have to understand how to address them. And we talk a lot at Ripple about how to do that. That's the hard part. That's the fun part. But I think that's where we will have our greatest impact.
Now, to take this video out is another short clip, and this really is clarifying the information that we learned in June when Ripple announced that they were going to work with the country of Colombia and their central bank to test blockchain use cases. But we really didn't understand exactly what that was going to be. Well, we now know it is in reference to their government bonds. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
When we think about wholesale CBDC and some of the work Ripple is doing, we have projects happening globally with different central banks. One that I'll highlight is with the Central Bank of Colombia, where we are exploring whether a WCBDC can be used as a credit risk-free settlement asset for government bonds with respect to their high-value payment system. It's a really interesting project, and it typifies the kind of work we're doing and engagements and the conversations we're having with different central banks, all of which vary. But there are some of those common themes.